Even God will understand.
God will respect you more for not going to church than running to church and disobeying your own husband.
This is not radio. Entrepreneurship.
Are you making money out of this? So they robbed you. Bags of money involves some.
Authentic Info Podcast.
Are you saying that there's no hell and there's no heaven?
You talk about your childhood.
Music, art, religious talks, all in one on Authentic Info Podcast.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Authentic Info Podcast. Today I'm hosting Mr. Muthi to speak about or to speak further on the topic of religion, the Bible, and everything related to that. So, without wasting any time, Mr. Muthi, thank you for making time for this episode. I think there's no longer a need to introduce yourself anymore. So, what are we talking about today? What is our main focus?
Thanks, Mr. Chauke. Thanks for having me again. Welcome. Greetings to all the viewers out there. Today we are continuing on the subject of religion, the Bible. Particularly today we're going to talk about the prophetic ministry and prophets in general. So we're going to talk about the purpose of the prophetic ministry. What is the real purpose behind the ministry of a prophet?
Yeah.
And what is a prophet? What is not a prophet?
Okay.
Yeah. Just to begin, Romans chapter First Corinthians chapter 12.
Yeah.
Talks about the gifts of the Spirit. Okay. There is the office, which is a gift that is given by Jesus Christ. There are 5 offices. Okay, it's the office of a pastor, a teacher, a prophet, an evangelist, and an apostle.
So before Jesus was born, how was the offices?
The offices were in the Old Testament. There were 3 main offices in the Old Testament.
Okay.
There were 3 main offices that were anointed with the holy anointing oil. When God instructed Moses to get the spices from the wilderness and mix them with pure olive oil to make the holy anointing oil. There are 3 main offices that were anointed with the holy anointing oil.
Okay.
One was the office of the king. When they anoint the king, they would have to bring the oil then to officially anoint and ordain the king.
Okay.
There was the office of the prophet and the office of the priest. Okay. So 3 offices. That's the whole part of the Old Testament up until the New Testament, because these 3 offices were the major offices in Israel in the times of Israel, in and out of slavery, in and out of wars and what. It's either there was a king or a priest or a prophet.
Okay.
There was particularly a time where there was a king and a prophet. Okay. Normally, a king would occupy dual offices. He would either be occupying an office of a king and an office of a priest at the same time, or the office of a king and the office of a prophet at the same time. So, but it would normally require an extra person outside the office of the king to become a prophet.
Okay, I want us to jump straight to the topic for today, because in the previous episode you spoke about the Bible origins and you spoke about a lot of history, defining all the systems and everything, and I think people will have to first watch that in order to understand this one. So today I want us to speak specifically about the pastors of today.
Yes.
New pastors, the new prophets, especially the young ones. The way I think they are deceiving our parents, the way they are taking money out of the pockets of the poor, using the Bible as a tool. So people will still have to refer to the previous episode to understand the Bible as a tool so that they can understand this episode. So I want us to speak to that, so that you don't dwell much on the history, so that we can easily move forward.
All right. Not everybody is a prophet who calls himself a prophet. There is the office of the prophet, and then there are gifts. There's a difference between the gift of prophecy and the office of a prophet.
Okay.
There's a difference between a person who can see visions and dreams. Okay,
Oh.
there are people who have a gift of dreaming.
Yeah.
They dream, and what they dream happens exactly as they see it in a dream.
Okay.
Trouble with those people who see and dream, they think they are prophets.
Oh.
And you are not actually a prophet because you have a gift to prophesy. You have you have the ability to dream dreams that are actually accurate. You dream there's going to be an accident in a taxi tomorrow. It happens exactly as you see it in your dream. That does not make you a prophet. That is why we are having a problem that we are having today.
Yeah.
Of a lot of young pastors, young people who are coming up, and today it's fashionable. You no longer see people who are calling themselves pastors or evangelists.
No.
Today the fashionable thing is it's either you are a prophet or you are an apostle.
Yeah.
You see? And without even knowing what do you mean if you say you are a prophet. And being a prophet or operating in a prophetic office does not mean that you have to prophesy from dusk to dawn. When you wake up, you have to prophesy. There are people who have founded their churches in the gift and the office of prophet. Okay, because of monetary value and making money.
Yeah.
That's why you come today. You have a church service. You prophesy people. It's accurate. It's straight, and people are just coming. They're throwing money. Next week you must do the very same thing. And next week you can't prophesy. So you depend on people that are around you.
Yeah.
So you'll Google people on Facebook, check their names, check their what. And when people are coming into the church, you require them to give information. Who are you? Where do you come from? What?
Yeah.
And someone is there at the back giving you all this information. And then you just say, there's a Chauke here. Mr. Chauke, is that you? Where are you from? Where are you working? You already have this information.
Oh.
It's not that you are prophesying.
Yeah.
Okay. What people have to know is there are three main sources. There are three main sources of receiving in a prophetic ministry. There are three main voices. There's the voice of the Holy Spirit, there's the voice of the devil, and there's a voice of a person. There's your own voice.
Yeah.
Okay. So when a person prophesies, you must discern which voice is speaking. Is he speaking from the voice of the Holy Spirit? Is he speaking from his own voice as a prophet? Or is he speaking from the voice of the devil? Because the devil can also come. Remember, prophecy is information. Information is all over.
Yeah.
It's flying all over in the spiritual world. So information is not something that must make people to be excited because I prophesied you accurate. And I mentioned the exact information from point to point. That's not important. The important is, where does that information come from? How did I source out that information? You see, we've got different cell phones.
Yeah.
You've got Hawaii, you've got Apple, you've got... So these are all devices of communication.
Yeah.
You see? So you connect either with Telcom, you connect with either MTN. See, it's a source of connection. That's what we are looking for. You see? So prophets today, you go to church and you prophesy. That does not mean tomorrow you must change your title and make yourself a prophet. To prophesy 3-4 times does not make you a prophet. There are prophets in the Bible who never prophesied even a single word, but they were prophets. So to prophesy does not mean you must take up the mic and call people in public and speak in public. It does not mean that. Okay. One, the office of prophecy, one, is designed to uplift. Two, to encourage. Three, to build an edifice. Okay, to build people.
Yeah.
There is nothing money related with the office of the prophet in the Bible. There's no prophet that was rich in the Bible.
Okay, 2 questions. I see most of these churches run by prophets these days. They run services almost every day, number one. Number
Yes.
two, people are paying for
Yes.
for prophecies. What's your take on those 2 questions?
As long as there's money involved, it's wrong. You want to test the ministry.
Even if it's accurate.
It has nothing to do with money. It has got nothing to do with money.
Yeah.
Everywhere in the Bible where there was a ministry of prophecy or healing or deliverance or anything that happened to do with the power of God, it was never about money. People were not charged money. If you prophesy me that I'm currently working on a tender, it's gonna be 100 million rand tender. Change this and change that, and I actually do that and actually get that 100 million rand tender. It does not mean I must pay you. If I get the money and your prophecy works on, it's upon me to decide that I'm gonna come and plant into your ministry and give you. It's not a direct requirement that I must bring money. People like to use the Bible. They say, they read you a verse in the Song of Solomon that says, do not come in the presence of the king empty-handed. They use that verse to draw money out of people. When you come to church, when you come to my ministry, don't come empty-handed. Come with money. Come with money.
So
come
make
and plant
themselves
money.
kings.
Yes. You see, so there's all these kinds of gimmicks and schemes to make sure that people bring money. That verse is misquoted because the word gift there in that verse in Song Solomon, it was it's the word that has to do with bribe.
Oh.
When you come in the presence of the king, you must come with a bribe.
Okay.
Because sometimes you come in the presence of the king is angry for some reason.
Yeah.
And you come to petition the king. But something made him angry, not you.
Yeah.
So if you have a gift, you will then bribe the king to get out of his mood that is in to listen to you. Not that when you come to church, you must have offering, you must have money every time. So in South Africa in particular, there's all these things one-on-one. To get a one-on-one with the prophet, you pay 1,500. They don't put it straight in church. That they say, no, if you want to have one-on-one tomorrow morning, I'll be here from 10 in the morning until 11 or until 1 o'clock. I'm going to be here one-on-one. If you want to be part of that one-on-one, register your name today. That's what they say on TV or whatever on the social media. But when you go and register your name, they tell you already we've got 1,000 people. If you want to be on top, to be maybe on the top 50 people, you must pay 1,500. Then they will move all those people. You'll jump the line. If you pay 2,000 rands, you become number one. You see, even if you came last and you put 10,000 rand, you'll see the prophet number one. Okay, and then all these other people will fall. So it's a budgeting system. Imagine if I come, I say, I want to see 100 people tomorrow. Each one will give me 1,000 rand. Count how much is that?
100K straight.
One day, 1 hour. And actually, you must check the people who have done all these one-on-ones. All of them, they will tell you the same thing. All of them, they pay the money. They go into the prophet. No matter which prophet it is, you will see you 1.5 minutes and tell you all is well. The Lord is with you. All your issues are sorted. God bless you. Go. 1,500 is gone. 2,000 is gone.
And less than
he's telling you something that already will happen. Without him, you must remember prophecy, whether you prophesy or not. If something must happen, it's going to happen. It's not going to happen because I prophesied. It is in the pipeline, it's going to happen. The danger about prophecy is one. You must discern the time, number one. You must discern whether this prophecy is fit for me to speak it in public, number two. Not everything is for public consumption. You see, you need to know, do I prophesy this thing in public or not? For example, you are in a church and then one of the ministers in government are in your service or the president is in your service. And God reveals to you that the president is actually hiding dollars in his mattress. Do you make that public prophecy or not? If you are a mature prophet, you don't just go in public and announce. Because that will have implications on you. It will have implications on the person that you are prophesying. Okay. Imagine having one of the most common mistakes that prophets do. It has to do with marital issues. People who are cheating on each other. The prophet will come and say, you are cheating on your wife. It's a prominent member of the church. He's a well-respected man in society. You come and spill that information. Whether it's correct or not, it's not important. The important thing is, after you issue that information, you're going to destroy the reputation of that man. and you are not actually solving the problem. Okay, so prophecy is not a tool to attack people, but prophecy is it's not a weapon. It's a tool to build the churches, to build people. Okay, to build the church. Actually. So not everything that you hear you must speak in public. Not every prophecy that you receive you must release. There are some things that God tell you for your own knowledge, for your own information, for you as a person to know tomorrow this thing is going to happen. Whether you pray for it or not, it's not going to stop. It's going to happen. Whether you tell people about it, it's not going to change. So you need to have spent enough time with God. You need to have checked your own character as a human being. Where are you in life? So you find all these young prophets, they are not married, number one. They are not even out of high school, number two. They have not started seeing life. Then you put a tent somewhere, you are a spiritual father. You are a prophet. You are calling people to run all over the show. You don't have manners, number one. Just to approach elders, how to approach elderly people. Okay. That's why there are a lot of prophetic schools around here in South Africa. A lot of prophetic schools. Prophetic schools are not to make prophets, but prophetic schools are there to identify people who have prophetic gifts. One. Two, prophetic schools are there to teach these prophets manners, to teach them. You don't stand up today and prophesy because there's this prophecy that is burning. You don't prophesy as if you are an automatic machine gun. Every time you see a person, you just want to fire and prophesy. Okay, you prophetic schools are there to train and to teach these people. You have to know how to differentiate between these three voices. If you hear a prophetic message, is it coming from the Holy Spirit or from your spirit or from the devil? You must know that there are spirits that are called familiar spirits. The word familiar is a Latin word. It means family. Okay, there are familiar spirits, which are spirits that operate in each and every family. Okay. They have a history of your family, more than 400 years of the history of your family. So those spirits can give you information about that person. Because already the spirits, they know where do you come from, who your grandfather was, and what. They know. So they can give you. So information is all over the spiritual world. It's all. So you must not just be excited about this man can prophesy, can tell you what happened in the past, today, and tomorrow. Information is not a criteria to judge whether a person is a prophet or not.
So is there a need to go to church every day, like these guys are doing?
No.
There's no need.
There's no need to go to church every day.
Why?
Church is not a prerequisite to go to heaven. Because we have deceived people and told people that if you don't go to church, particularly if you don't come to my church, forget about heaven, forget about God. We have bounded people and we have imprisoned people in our own domain, in our own churches, because primarily of money. And I can tell people in my church, you came to my church, I prayed for you, you were healed in my church. You go out of my church, you're going to go mad. You'll be mad, you will lose everything. I've gone to a lot of churches where you hear pastors say, if you leave my church, you will lose that job. I'm the one who gave you that job. I prayed for you, you got the job, you got married, you got children, you didn't have everything that you did not have before you come to my church. If you leave, all of those things are going to vanish. It's a curse. It's not something that should be there. No. So the Bible says, freely you have received, freely give. So if I have a gift of healing, I got it for free. I did not pay for it. If I have a gift of prophecy, I got it for free. So I should prophesy people freely without expecting anything in return. Okay? Because God is the one that must reward me. He must pay me. Not me look after money and people. Okay? Because now the trap is one. What if I can't prophesy you tomorrow? And you brought 6, 7, 8 people and you say, this man prophesied me yesterday, he was on fire. And you come to me, you say, tomorrow I've got 7 people from Limpopo, they are coming here. One is a businessman. One, if you prophesy them, we're going to leave 100,000 rand. You see, you're putting me under pressure. So I'm going to try and impress these 7 people. And then I'm going to end up doing mistakes and prophesying wrong. remember, when David was anointed, the prophet came to David's house. The first son he saw, God says, I must anoint you, you are the king. When he prophesied, God says, no, not this one. He was wrong. The second one, he says, God, this is the one. He says, all these 7 people, they were men of war. They were already in the army in Israel. So Samuel said, okay, this one is in the army, is well built, so this one must be the king. God says, no. All 7 of them, no, they failed. And then when he was about to leave, he asked Jesse, he says, are these all your sons here? Is it all? And then Jesse says, yeah, it's all of them, man. They are the top ranking there in the army, man. But he says, no, but there's just the last one. The last one is a small yellow bonish thing, is there in the field. And then Samuel says, bring him.
Yeah.
When David came, he was 17 years old. When he came in, God says, this is the one. You see, so it's possible that a prophet can make a mistake.
Yeah.
The problem is that the prophets of today, they don't want to admit that when I prophesied you, actually that was a mistake. They don't want to own up to it.
Can you speak about submission and this thing of spiritual father? Because there are young prophets who will tell you that I'm under you, that angel. Then after 6 months, no, I'm submitting under
Yes.
What is all that?
Okay. Number one, according to my knowledge and my belief, if you are not married, if you have not passed a specific level of maturity, don't call yourself a spiritual father. You're lying to people. Because if you are a spiritual father, remember, you are occupying a certain position in the spirit of authority. Okay? You are not married. You are a father over people who are married. How are we going to cancel those people? Let's say a man and a wife are coming to your office. They're telling you, we're having a sexual problem. My wife does not want to. You are not married, number one. How are you going to solve that problem? You don't have authority to speak over married people if you are not married. Even if you can prophesy from morning to, I don't care. You cannot marry people, even to marry them and join them. If you are not married, you don't have authority in the realm of the spirit, and naturally you cannot. So if you don't have if you cannot be here in South Africa and go to a church and have a spiritual father from outside South Africa, it's not possible. It's not possible. Where did you hear about that guy? Where did you see that guy from? Because if let's say, for example, as a guy from Ghana, he comes and makes a revival, and then you get born again, you come into the church fold. The guy goes back to Ghana, and then he leaves the church. Then you were born again, you join the spiritual family under that guy. So you have a right to say that guy is your spiritual father. But do you have a connection to that guy? Because that guy will only come to South Africa once or twice a year. He does not know you personally. He does not know your family, where you are, what you need, what. He cannot even put 50 rand in your account to say, my son, tomorrow go and look for a job. And you tell him, hey, I'm struggling to get a job. I'm struggling to feed my family. If he's a spiritual father, the role of a father is to take care of the sons. Not the sons taking care of the father. That's what they're doing, these people. You become a spiritual father so that you can drain money from your sons. That is wrong. To be a spiritual father, you must drain money from your pocket to make your children grow. Okay? So you must build a house for your son. Originally, when you got married, your father went out looking for a wife for you. That's how tradition tells us. You don't look for a girlfriend and marry. Your father went out to look for a woman for you. And when they find a woman for you, even in the Bible, your father takes out money to go and marry that woman for you. Builds you a house, gives you a start in life, and release you. Go and be a man. Today, spiritual fathers want the sons to bring money. And tomorrow when he's tired of you, you are no longer my son, he's cursing you, what. He throws you away, he wants another one. And tomorrow they hear, no, Hubert Angel is one now. No, that one is my father. Tomorrow, Hubert Angel vanish. No, tomorrow TD Jakes is my father. No. Just because you watch TD Jakes every day on TV, he's not your spiritual father. If you say TD Jakes is your spiritual father, you must, number one, you must give me his cell phone number. I have a direct line to TDJ. I can phone him now because he's my father. I can phone him and speak to him and say, Daddy, I have a problem, man. I'm doing this. I have a problem with my wife, with the church. And he can say, yeah, my son, I know, I hear. Listen, let's pray. Let's do this. Okay, come to my office or let me come to you. That's a relationship between a father and a son. Unless you can connect directly to a man, don't call him a spiritual father. It's a lie. You are not a spiritual. You are lying to people. You see these boys, what they do, they say, no, my spiritual father is Makandiwa. He's a big prophet in Nigeria, in Zimbabwe. He's a big man. So they are using these names so that they can grow their own ministry.
The big names,
they use their name. My father is the major one. The major one. Everybody was, he's major one. They want to, and even that guy does not even know you. He does not even know your name. He does not even have your phone number. He cannot call you. You cannot call him at night. So you are not a spiritual father. You are lying. And when you are a spiritual father and you are not married, you must tell me who taught you how to run your own family, number one. If you don't have your own family. I'm not talking about you are running your family with your mother and your children and your sisters and your siblings. That's not your family. It's the family of your father. So because you can prophesy, you stand there in a corner and start your small church there and today I'm a spiritual father. It's a lie. You are not. Other people say, yeah, but I'm a pastor. I've got a calling from God. I must start a church. There is no one that God called and said, go and start a church. No one. If God calls you, you must remember, if you go back to the book of Samuel chapter 1. Now, Samuel is with Eli. You remember the story. Eli was with Hannah. Hannah was crying in the church, crying for a child. And Eli says, this woman, you are drunk. Why are you always drunk? And the woman says, no, I'm not drunk. I'm praying for a son. You see? And then when she prayed, she said to God, if you give me a son, I'll give the son back to you. So she gives birth to Samuel. Gives Samuel back to the church. And Samuel was staying in the house of Eli. Okay. So God starts calling Samuel, says, Samuel, at night. The boy wakes up, he runs to Eli. He says, did you call me? Eli says, hey, I'm sleeping, man. Go and sleep. I didn't call you. The same voice comes again. Samuel. Then he runs to Eli. He says, I hear your voice. You call me again. And he says, no, I didn't call you. Because at that time, he says, you called me again. Then Eli realizes, no, God is calling this boy. You see, the voice of Eli and the voice of God sounds exactly the same to Samuel. So if you are a spiritual father, the voice of God that your people are hearing, it must be exactly the same as your voice. If your voice does not sound exactly like the voice of God, you are not a father, you are lying. You see, so when God called Eli, when God called Samuel, the word calling there in that verse, when he says come, is the Greek word kaleo. Okay, it was the Hebrew word which is kaleo. It means come here. When God calls you, he says come here. If I call you, I say come here. You come to me, come here. He did not say go and start a church. A lot of people say God called me to start. He did not call you to start a church. He said come to me, come here. Because I want to speak to you. I want to give you instructions. I want to build a relationship between you and me. First. Because where I'm sending you, you don't know. You don't even know the people I'm sending you to. Imagine you are a prophet and you are like Isaiah. Because when Isaiah was called, God told him straight. He says, I'm calling you to the people that are not even going to listen to you. Isaiah was a prophet who went out prophesying. People did not even care what he was saying. They never listened. They didn't even want to listen to him. But God told him. So if it was the prophets of today, they want to go and start, put a hall there, put 800 chairs and expect 800 people to show up. Expect 1,000 rand per seat. And you prophesy, nobody even responds. You see, how do you see a true prophet and a false prophet? That is a major test. If a person is prophesying you, there are two ways of prophesying. It's either you are prophesying confirmation or you are prophesying revelation. So it means I'm prophesying you something that you don't know. That's a revelation. I'm telling you something that you've never heard, you don't know. Or I'm prophesying you confirmation. Something that has always been eating you, man. You know, you've always had this thing. when you sleep, you see mics, you see cameras. Hey man, what is this thing with mics and cameras and videos? I want to shoot, I want to, So you always had this thing of going to broadcasting, but you are not sure. You're always feeling this thing. And then you go to church and the prophet, a person that has never seen you, and says, hey man, I see you, I see cameras around you and I see mics. You see, he's prophesying confirmation to what you have been seeing. Unlike someone who's never even seen a camera in his life, who does not even have interest in sound engineering and what. But you can see into the future that you are going to stumble into sound engineering.
Yeah.
So those are two things.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I wanted to ask, there are a lot of these new prophets. A lot of them are accused of rape in their churches.
Yes.
What is it that tempts them to do these things? Because to show that it really happened, most of them go underground or behind closed doors to bribe these victims so that they don't take the matter forward.
Yes.
To show that indeed they are doing these things. So what might be the cause of this?
It's a simple thing. It's lust. It's a simple thing. Most of the churches, in every organization, most of the churches, there are women. There are more women than men.
Yeah.
And these young prophets, these young pastors, they attract young women. A lot of young women float into the churches. Some of them are young and they are inexperienced. They are just vulnerable. They don't know anything. Okay? And then they will just use them. They will just manipulate them and tell you they just pick 5 or 6 of them. They say, no, God wants you to come and work in the house. Be servants here in the house. Okay. When we pray for people, you're going to be ushers. When we run the church, you are going to do this and do this. The places of responsibility. They make them feel special, And then when they are here in the church, no, God has called you. The gift that I have, God wants to give you that gift. The gift, the power that I have, the anointing. They bribe them with the spiritual gift. That God wants to give you what I have, but you must be ready to receive this thing that I have. Okay. So when I lay my hands on you, I'm transferring the gift from me to you. Okay. But then they tell you, no, this special gift, you can't receive it unless I have sexual intercourse with you. Then this gift will be transferred from me to you. It's mind games. It's brainwashing. It's not something that happens now and then. It's something that takes time. They brainwash these girls. They brainwash them and they brainwash them. And some of them, unfortunately, some of these young prophets, they have money. They lure these girls with money. They take them. Maybe this girl at home she's having problems with the family. The family is in Pompo. She ran away. What? There's no support. There's no financial support in the house. This man will come and buy her clothes, buy her this, bribe them with money. Okay. I don't have a place to stay anymore. No, come and stay in the mission house with me. You're going to run the things of the church. You're going to answer the phones. What. At night, the man wants to sleep with this girl. When it starts, the girl is willing. But then when they get exposed, then the girl wants to turn and call it rape. So it's a two-way street. You see, but mostly the pastors themselves, the people who are in the place of authority, these sexual things is not just about pastors. It's about men who are in positions of authority. Whether you are a mayor, whether you are a principal, whether you are as long as you are in a place of authority. These women always love men who are in places of power and who have command of situations. So it's not even pastors only, you see, but it's prevalent here in the churches because the media itself is hunting for these stories. Once they hear there's a pastor who's accused of, every eye of the media is there.
Yeah.
Which, number one, for me, is not fair. Because you can run your church for 15 years and there's no media house that will come and cover even a single service of your church. They won't even come for Easter conference. They say, okay, this church is having Easter conference. They supported that school. They won't come. But they hear a small story. This pastor is accused of rape. All the media houses are there.
Yeah.
Which is, it's not fair.
Yeah. No, there's an old Madala from the village who's a friend of mine. He's a traditional healer.
Yeah.
So he mentions some of the pastors from that side in Guyana to say they come to him for fame, they want Muthi for fame, and they want Muthi to prophesy. So he gives them, and it works. And the problem that he has, I think I will go and interview him because he called to say I must come and speak to him.
Yes.
He must speak about these young boys because they think they're smart. So he says, when things are going well in their churches, they stand there in the pulpit and fake and like thank God for that they can prophesy and the church and they are popular and the church is big. They forget him. That's why I want to talk to me. So I want to check with you. Are you aware of such activities that there are pastors who are not using the power from God or their gifts? And then they run to traditional leaders to get power, come and prophesy and lie and run their churches.
It did not start today. We must go back to the book of Kings. In the book of Kings, there was the first conference of the prophets. Elijah called a meeting with the prophets and the sons of the prophets. They came and then he instructed them to go and make the soup for the night. The Bible says he tells them, go to the field, go and take spices here and there. Two of the prophets went and brought in strange spices. And then at night, before they ate the soup, they tested it. And one of them came and said, Father, there's death in the pot. And then he stands up and says, somebody brought strange fire. Which means you went out and sourced out for power from where I did not send you to. Okay? So it's the same thing. You go to traditional healers. There's people who fly here out of the country, they go to Nigeria to get power. There's a lot of stories on TV. Man goes to Nigeria, they take you to this village, they take you to the sea, and then a mermaid comes, then they say you must sleep with this mermaid. After that, you come out. There's a lot of stories. And these things have to do with two things, money and people. They bring a lot of people. You start a church now, in 2 months' time, you have 6,000-7,000 members floating to your church every day, leaving money every day. Whatever you say, whether you are a prolific speaker, whether you don't even know what you're saying, people will come in their thousands. When you say money, when you call money, they give you a small muthi. You put it in a small jar, you put it at the back of your pulpit in the church. You put it there. Immediately when you say money, even if people did not plan to bring money, you'll see people on their cell phone transferring money, going to throw money, because there's something that you put under the table. Okay, so there's a lot. I know of a lot of people who died. Okay, because first, Muthi works in two ways. There are real sangomas will tell you when you come and look for the power. They'll tell you this power. There are two things: the power for control and having power over people. Okay, when you tell them stand up, they stand up. When you tell them sit down, they sit down. When you tell them tomorrow come to church, don't sleep with your husband. Don't. Immediately when you tell them that, they will do exactly what you say. They tell you this power comes with money and it comes with a sacrifice. They tell you every 6 months you must come back here and bring a sacrifice. They tell you must bring a live animal, cow, a sheep, or what. And then they'll tell you, in a long run, they tell you this thing is going to start looking for people. The blood of the people, not the animal anymore.
Yeah.
So you must sacrifice. I know churches where they have sacrificed members of the church. The pastor will sacrifice. You see a church, you are burying people every week. Members of your church that are dying every week you are burying.
So that thing wants blood.
That thing is looking for blood. Okay. You stay 6-7 months, there's no funeral in your church. When it starts, it's like this, 6, 7, 8 funerals. And when you listen and you trace the stories, someone will tell you, there was a big church here in Soweto. Very big bishop, internationally known. A man went to church to pray. It was during the week. When you preach most in church, you must just come, and anytime you want to come to church, the doors of the church are open. You want to spend time with God, you can come here, even if there's no church. You can just come here and sit here and pray and just wait for God. This man just goes to church. Monday morning, 11, there's nothing happening in the church. He just goes there and sits at the back. It's a very big church. Lights are dimmed. There's no one in the church. He's sitting there. He's minding his own business. He's having his own stress. The bishop walks into the pulpit with a sangoma. They don't see him. at the back. He's looking at the pulpit, seeing what is happening. The man is pulling a baboon with the bishop. And they're there on the pulpit. They are chanting. They're doing things there. They are calling people to come to church, to come with man. He's witnessing this thing. He's seeing it. They are not seeing him. He left. He never went back to that church. The danger is if they see you, you are there in the church. I know people who have seen and they went to the pastor. He confronted the pastor. I saw you with the sangoma in the pulpit. What is happening? Live. He goes, what is this man doing here in the church? This is the house of God. What is this man doing here? Those people, they don't last 3 months. They die. You get sick just now from nowhere. You are sick. 2 weeks, you are dead. They bury you.
No, this is serious.
You see? These things are very serious. And there are pastors who have... I know a pastor in Pretoria who went out to TV and confessed. I went to Nigeria. I got something. They gave me a head of a pig. They tell me, take this head of the pig, go and bury it in your church yard. In front of the door of the church, bury this pig. The head of the pig, you bury it, you do this, you do that, you do that. After some time, you go there, you will see the head will start rotting. And you start seeing maggots coming out. Don't just kill them. See, as you try and count, if you see a lot of them coming, that means they represent people. People are going to come. Just like that. Things happen just like that. They come. People come into church. But the problem is, there are some things that they did not tell you. Okay, this Muthi is one. Every Muthi that brings you money does not want women around you. If you are married, you have Muthi for money, your marriage will not last. From nowhere, you start fighting your wife, kicking your wife out. From nowhere. You trace all the people who have Muthi for money. They are not married. Women do not last. Okay, because this thing does not want a woman next to you. The Muthi for power wants blood. You will sacrifice people and give it and give it and give it and give until it wants to come inside your family. It starts wanting your children and your wife.
Then you will be the last one.
You will be the last one, of course.
So there was a video clip doing rounds on the internet, on social media. There was this pastor teaching about submission in the church. So he calls a random woman to say, give me a glass of water. The woman runs, gets water, runs to the pulpit, and then she bows to the pastor, gives him water. And then he said, take one mic, go give your husband. I want to speak something to him. So she runs to the husband, she stands there, she gave him the mic. And then he said, no, there's a lesson to teach. What you did to me, you should do to your husband. What's your take on submission when it comes to these women who goes to church, they undermine their husbands, but they submit and respect the men of God at church, but they don't take it to the house?
In Corinthians, in 1 Corinthians, the Bible says God is the head of Christ. Christ is the head of the man. Man is the head of the woman. Okay. So submission is a thing that starts at home. The Bible says, Paul says, wives, submit yourselves to your own husband. Submission is a woman must submit to her own husband. If a woman is not married, you can submit under a pastor because the pastor becomes your spiritual covering.
Okay.
So if you are married, your immediate spiritual covering is your husband. You cannot bow to the pastor if you don't respect your husband. That's why if your husband is not born again, is not going to church, is not a member of your church and you go to church. If your husband says today don't go to church, you listen to your husband, don't go to church.
Even God will understand.
God will respect you more for not going to church than running to church and disobeying your own husband. Because tomorrow you'll be in front of a judge divorcing. And now God must intervene now. It's a problem now because you ran to church to a man that you don't even know. And you fail to honor your own husband in your own house. It's a simple thing. How do you expect God to listen to you if you can't listen to your own husband? You go out to church to pray for God to heal you, God to do this, to do that. And God is waiting for you to actually start listening to your own husband. Your husband is asking you for food in the house. You tell your husband straight, go and cook for yourself. Go and do this. You command your husband in the house. It's worse today because of women empowerment, government equity balances. You find a wife is a commissioner in government, somewhere is a mayor, is what. To be a leader in society does not mean you are a leader in your house. You must still submit, even if you can be the deputy president of the country. You're not the deputy president of your husband. You must submit yourself to your husband before you go and do things outside that you don't do in your own house. It's the same as a husband who goes to church and puts thousands and thousands of offering every Sunday. You go with the envelope of 2,000, but you're not supporting your family. You can't even buy your wife a lipstick or makeups. You can't even, but every Sunday you are there with the envelope of 5,000 to church. God is not impressed about that offering. It's a lie. Everything must start in your house. So we are doing these things to show off. Because now we check people. There was a church here in Johannesburg. There are people from outside the country. The pastors from outside the country. He's renting a place for 30,000 a month. The place they are using for church. They pay 30,000 rands a month. He's got 5 people. These people, there's 2 of them. Every week when they come to church, when this man walks into church, there's a man, there's another lady. They're not married. It's 2 different people. When this lady walks into church, the pastor already knows that woman is going to leave 40,000 on the offering pass. No, without question. If that woman is absent from church, it's trouble. Because in the budget is minus 40,000. So you will see the pastor, when these 3-4 people are not in the service, you will hear the tone of the pastor will change, the message will change, everything. The pastor will be just mad all over the place because the offering will be less than 600-700 rand. But when these 2-3 people are there, the offerings are above 100,000. He will prophesy, he's happy, he's what. Because this is manipulation, remember. It's manipulation. He's bringing all these people because at the end of the month, we have a budget to fill it. And then if he stands up in church and prophesies and he says, there's 7 people here, God says you have 1,000 rand to give 7 people, you must multiply now. 7 times 1,000, you must multiply. How much is that? And then he comes and he says, there's 50 people who have 100 rand. And he says, there's 700 people who have 10 rands. You must count all this money. This man has already made a budget. Already, there was a church in Cape Town, a guy who went to prison. He was arrested for drugs and what. So when he was in prison, he told one of his friends, we had a church in Cape Town. Okay, so we were 7 from Nigeria. We were 7. These 6 are drug dealers. Me, I'm just one of their nephews. They called me. We were here in South Africa. We're making business come. I was not a drug dealer. I was not in the drug business. I didn't know what to do. Back home, I was in church. All I know is to run a church and preach. So these 6 said, let us start a church in Cape Town. They started the church, and then they tell this guy, we're going to bring 30 people in the church. We're going to give them 10,000 each because they're cleaning this drug money. And then they tell you, when you stand up, you must prophesy that there's 10 people who have 10,000 rands each. Come. And then immediately when he says, I see there's 10 people here, you've got 10,000, God wants that 10,000, bring 10,000, stand up. 10 people stand up, they come in front. And he says, if there's more, come. Don't disobey God. You know, they come and they scare you now. You see people are listening, they're obeying. Come now. They've got that voice of, to intimidate people. And then he says, I see there's another 7. You have 5,000, you have 5,000, you have 5,000. It's an auction now, you see. They used to do that. That's how they ran their church. And they were cleaning this money. Because if they have 6 people who have 10,000 rand, they are already cleaning the 60,000 rand. If they have 10 extra people, then it's a bonus. So he tells me this is how we used to make money in the church. We are not just in a place where this money goes to. There's no money that goes to God. Every money that you bring to church is for people who are in the church. You see, so it's manipulation. The money that is in the church, that you receive in the church, 15% is innocent money that is coming to church. The rest of the 85% is manipulation. Because free will offering, you just stand up there. If you have free will offering any amount of money, you are free to just give. You come and give. The rest, what we are doing is gimmicks, is games. Imagine I tell you, today is the 19th of March. It's the 19th. Tomorrow is the 20th of March. I want to pray for you. Tomorrow is the national shutdown. I want to pray for you to be safe. If you want to be in this grace, in this anointing to protect you from tomorrow, bring 20 rands. That 20 rands represents the day of tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 20th. So everyone bring 20 rand right now if you want God to protect you from tomorrow. There's nothing to do with protection. This man is counting. How many 20 rands are going to come?
Yeah.
If you've got 600 people in your church and everyone brings 20 rand, just for tomorrow.
12,000 straight.
Just for tomorrow only. Okay?
Yeah.
So tomorrow you come, no, this is 2023. I want you to bring 23 rand. You see, there's a church here in South Africa that builds churches all over South Africa. It's from outside South Africa. They build churches all over just by that system only. It was way before these major prophets came and one-on-one bring 10,000 rand. It was way, they dealt with 5 rand. They tell you, they give you a plastic. Here's the plastic. I want you to bring me 15 rands. Put 5 rand coins, 3. 5 rand coin, 3. Don't bring 10 rand and 3 5 rand coins. We're going to pay for you next week. They say tomorrow we are going to enter into the green pastures. Tomorrow is the week of green pastures. Bring the money that is green. Obviously, 10 rand.
Yeah.
Everybody must bring a 10 rand note into that plastic. How many people are in the church? When they tell you tomorrow we are fighting the evil things that are destroying you in your life, in your family. We are going to destroy them tomorrow. We are going to bring a lion into your own house. Bring the money that is a lion. How much is that?
50.
You see? So it's manipulation. It's things that there is nothing that God said. There are more than 17 verses in the Bible that talks about offering. More than 17 verses in the Bible that talks about offering. There's only one verse that speaks about money out of 17. It was when Jesus was standing in front of the offering basket and that woman put 2 coins.
Yeah.
That's the only verse that talks about money. Every other verse in the Bible that talks about offering is not talking about money. It has got nothing to do with bringing money in the church. Every verse about tithing in the Bible has nothing to do with money. Everybody in the Bible did not qualify to pay tithes. Not everyone. In the nation of Israel only, not everybody qualified to bring tithe. That's why Jesus never paid tithe. Paul never paid tithe. Because tithe was only required from farmers only. If you were not a farmer, you don't qualify to pay tithe.
Yeah.
That's why it says, bring your tithes into the house so that I can open the windows of heaven for rain. He says, bring the tithe into the storehouse. What is the storehouse? These are barnyards where they brought maize and they put them in the barnyard. Not money. And then you'll hear people in the church say, no, but there was no money in the times of the Bible. It was a lie. There was money from Genesis. Money was there from Genesis. Joseph was sold for 30 pieces of silver. There was money from Genesis. So tithing was never money. It was not required from everyone. And tithing was not something that was required every month in the Bible.
Okay, when we are still talking about money, I would like to let me give you a scenario. There is a church that has been running for more than 13 years. This church has never took any child to school. But as soon as the child of the pastor is in grade 12, and they pass, they must go to university. The church will come, gather, they buy refrigerators, everything, make sure the child of the pastor goes to school, get registered, goes to the best university. But along the way, they never did that, even to the poorest child from the church who has been there ever since. So I want to get your views on that. What is the role of the church in the community? And then how do you take scenarios like this where the church must gather for as long as it benefits the family of the pastor?
It's wrong. It's wrong. Totally wrong. Because it's two-sided also. It's wrong for the church not to take care of the pastor and his family. It's wrong for the pastor to centralize everything to himself only. It's wrong. Number one, the church has a responsibility to God to take care of the pastor. It's right. The pastor has a responsibility to God to take care of the nation. So if there's a church that is putting together more than 12,000, 13,000 every month of offering, at the bank, you're banking more than 12,000 rand, and you fail to pay 600 rand for one child who's poor, then you have failed. You have failed. You fail to buy one pair of shoes at Pep. It's not even 150 rand. A pair of school shoes for a child to go to primary school, then you have failed. There are churches who bank more than 300,000 rands every month. But you can't pay for 5 children to go to primary. Primary school is, even in the townships, is 600, 700 rand per child for the whole year. You can't pay for 6 children as a church. Then you have failed. Forget about doing all these other things you have built, mentioned, you have failed. That is what makes people to hate the family of the pastor. Because your children had the best life while our children suffered. You see, so there are churches where there's a church board that is running the whole church. They elect the pastor. They employ the pastor. And they pay the pastor. They tell you, they bring you into the church. They bring you into the mission house of the church. They tell you, we're going to pay you so much. We're going to do so much for your children. We're going to do so much. We're going to do so much for your wife. What. So this is the amount that you're going to pay every month without fail. Those are your mainline churches, your Roman Catholics, your assemblies, your what. Those are the churches that are doing things in order. It's a straight line. You go there, you sign a contract. This is what you get from the church, and this is what the church is doing. So even that's why even after COVID, these are the only churches that survived. Every Anglican church, Roman Catholic, if before COVID they had 2,000 members, after COVID they still had 2,000 members, unless if they were deaths during COVID. The number of people they had, they still maintained. The number of amount of money they had, they still maintaining, because they are not run by the pastor. They are run by a church board. So the amount of money that they are collecting, they are spreading it equally. The pastor has a contract. We pay you 5,000 a month. We pay you 15,000 a month. We have 2,000 rands allowance for your children. Maybe they're going to primary. And then we have a budget on the side. Or maybe when we do a back to school campaign next year, we're going to buy books. We're going to donate to a school. We're going to buy uniform, donate to a school. That's the effort that is done by the church. The churches that are owned by a pastor, it's the pastor, he owns the church, he runs it's my church, I own the church, all the money comes directly to me. And all the money that comes to me, I decide what I do with it. It's not fair. It's not a business. We are making this thing a business now, because you are calculating how many people are coming in here, how much money you are collecting, and how much money you need, without giving back to the very same people that are here.
Okay, 2 questions before we close. Well, we're still talking about money, right? There are these holy water, they brand pens, they brand things that you will use at work, stationery. They brand things that you need, your cup, mug, glasses, and things like that. And then they are for sale. They say that they when you buy them, they will change your life, like blessings and things like that, the holy water, holy pen, and things like that. So, and then there are also fundraisings or pastors' appreciation, before I forget. Maybe they do it once a year. And then my question is, why, when there's pastors' appreciation, they will make sure that it's a well-organized event, and then they might contribute more than what they have contributed for the church the whole year in one service, just for the pastor. And then I want your view on this one of pastor's appreciation, and then on the one of selling things at the church.
Okay, let me start with the last one. For me, it's fine. If people decide to make the appreciation of the pastor, it's up to the church. Whatever they decide to do is fine. It's there. It's not in the Bible. It's not a force. It's something that you decide as a church. We're gonna appreciate our own pastor. It's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. According to me, as long as you can do this very same thing after your pastor dies, and you have another pastor that comes, More especially if you have a church that has more than one pastor. If you can do that for all the pastors equally, I don't have a problem. If you have a spiritual father and there are sons and there are pastors down there, you have there's a pastor who had 7 cars, 7 different cars. He's got pastors under him who are taking taxis to church. That's wrong. You can't even take one of the cars and say these 3 cars will just drive to bring pastors to church. Yes, they are my cars. If my junior pastors wants to go and do shopping for their family, take one of the cars, go and do your shopping. If you can't give like that, then all these pastors is nonsense. It's wrong. Because you can't use that to build your own people. I mean, there's things that it's not gonna affect you.
Yeah.
You take one car, you donate it to one of your pastors in your church. Take this car, I give it to you for free. There was a pastor who had more than 100 cars parking in his farm. More than 100 cars. He does church services where he just goes on TV and says, today, I'm only taking offering for cars only. If you are phoning me now, you are telling me, Pastor, I'm giving you a car. If you're not giving me a car, don't phone. People will phone and say, Pastor, I've got a car, I want to give the car. Bring the car. But you can't, you have 7, 8 pastors who are taking taxis to come to church. Then this is nonsense.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the merchandising, selling of holy waters and anointing oils and all those things. Well, if you are allowed to go to a sangoma, okay, you go to a sangoma and purchase something, and then the sangoma says, no, this thing is a tooth of a lion. You must put it here to protect you. If that is allowed, it's allowed to sell the oil. The same thing. If they see what you buy in the sangoma and they say this is demonic, then even the thing that they sell in church is also demonic. Look what we do. We are hypocrites as South Africans. We celebrate Heritage Day once a year. And in churches we take all these traditional ornaments, amakamba and all these things, meseme, all these things, traditional things, we put them in the pulpit in the church. We are celebrating what? Heritage Day. Tomorrow, if you put kamba in your hand, you are a witch. If you have anything traditional, today, if we go out there, we wear traditional clothes, people are gonna look at us funny.
Yeah.
You see, these people who are selling these things, they are making business. It's business. You cannot sell anything. Look, when Jesus looked at the situation, he prescribed what would be the solution. It tells you, okay, you are sick, you have leprosy, go into the river and wash. Wash your skin, and then you'll be healed. Okay? When you come out of the water, you are healed. And then to the other one, he took his saliva, he makes something, he makes an eye for a person. Why can't we make a saliva and put it in the bottle and sell it? And say, this is a saliva anointing, come and buy it. No one will buy it.
No one.
Okay? Why are we taking water from the tap or from wherever we're taking the water, we put my picture in it and we sell it? Why? There is no medical doctor who is 100% well here, who can prescribe one thing for every patient. It's not, a person has got a headache, oil. Got cancer, oil. You don't sleep at night, oil. Your business is not going right, oil.
Yeah.
No.
I even asked myself because Bushiri used to sell these things. But when he was in court, he didn't use any of these things.
It did not work for him. So if those things were really working, he was supposed to use them. He was not supposed to skip the country. He was supposed to use them so that the judge will be blinded and will release him for free. Because there are people who are in prison who will tell you, I went to court, I went to a sangoma, he gave me Muthi, I went to court.
Yeah.
I was supposed to be given 15 years.
Yeah.
The judge sentenced me to 2 years.
Yeah.
After a year, I went out.
Yeah.
Because I had the Muthi. If the pastor can give you a oil, it says this oil, you spray it in your car, it will protect your car. This oil will do this. To prove that these things are not working, how many people died of COVID? If these things were working, there is no prophet in the world, dead or alive, who saw COVID coming. There's no one who saw it. There's no one who prophesied, I see, it's a lie. No one, even the ones who died. There was one who said, when COVID started, another one from Nigeria said, on the 27th of March, this year, this thing will be gone.
Yeah.
He prophesied, he said, on the 27th of March.
Yeah, I remember that.
We spent 2 years of COVID. We are still suffering from COVID even now.
Yeah.
So it's a lie. These people are lying. They're just selling these things to make money. You must understand that if you are a businessman, you are running, the more stock you have, the more money you are likely to make. So if you have 100 bottles of oil, you go and prepare a sermon for oil. And you will go and prepare. Remember, in the Old Testament, not everybody was anointed with oil. Only 3 offices were anointed with oil. Not everyone.
Yeah.
Not everyone qualified to have oil on top of your head. Because there are repercussions of oil coming into your body. Because oil brings enemies, brings friends, brings all kinds of trouble. The gift that you are born with is the one that is giving you all this trouble. Not that your family is bewitching you. Not that people hate you. No. It's the thing that you were born with. There are people who were born with a gift to heal. Pre-colonization here in Africa, before all these things came, there were people who had a gift to heal. Who had a gift to go to the field and look at the plant and say, this plant is to cure this, that plant is to... They had that information without going to school. Without studying medicine, they just looked at the tree. They would there are grannies who would just come into the room and look at the babies crying. So they look once and they know, must take this and do this to the child. And it worked. They had knowledge. Where did they get that knowledge? It was a spiritual thing. It was a gift that they had. Not everybody had that gift. So because of having that gift brought trouble into the family. You see, it's not that now you must go and buy the oil. I see your grandmother was bewitched by your great-great-great-grandmother. There's a line of witches in your family. It's a lie. You must come and break the cases. There's no case. It's a lie.
Yeah.
It's a format to just get you to buy my thing. And all of these things, you see, in the public sector, in the public market, they tell you every product must have a money-back guarantee. If this thing, you must use it for 7 days. If it's not working, bring it back, take your money.
Yeah.
None of these things that you buy from church, you can send them back. None of them. If you use the oil and it's not working, the pastor has something to say to defend himself. It's either you don't believe, you don't have faith, or you did not use it right.
Yeah.
You didn't use it correct. Or you are in a rush. You must be patient, my brother. Be patient. You see, healing is progressive. It's progress. It's a progress. It's gonna take stages and stages. You must not be in a rush. You must be patient. But when he asked for 1,500, don't say bring it small. He said bring it now.
Yeah.
All of it. He wants it now.
Yeah.
But for the thing to work, you must be. This is a lie, man. People are lying to people. You can go to any prophet in the whole world.
Yeah.
There is no prophet that is gonna do anything in your life that God did not do in your life already. Whether a prophet tells you tomorrow is gonna snow and rain, already the weather focus is there. It's gonna rain. There are prophets who waste our time. There's a prophet who goes and says, tomorrow Chelsea and Man United, the score is 1-1. What do we do with Chelsea? And we came to church. You come and tell us about. So if I want to watch soccer, I'll go and watch soccer.
You Angel is doing that a lot these days.
So if I want to know what's the score, I will go and watch. I don't want to go and watch.
So still the game is going to play.
Because now I came here because my child is sick, is dying. I want God to help me with my sick child that is dying.
Then you tell me about
soccer. The other thing you tell me, yes, sir, I see your office now. Your office, there's a chair in the corner. What do you do with my office? There's a picture in your office. I'm here in the church. You are here in the church. We are both here. What do you want in my house? You'll hear a prophet says, yes, ma'am, I'm taken in the spirit into your house. And I'm inside your bedroom now. In your bedroom, there's a door, there's a bathroom in the toilet. Imagine there's a bathroom, you always shower in your wife. I can see you go to shower. A prophet is looking at your wife naked, going to shower. That's nonsense, man. Tomorrow, your wife will go to a sabbatical. The prophet will release a word to your wife, tell you, you must come for a cleansing. You must go and pray for 7 days. There's a farm that we have in the church. We want all these people to come. Your wife goes there to pray for 7 days. And in the meantime, that guy is working on the mind of your wife. There's a guy who went to a cleansing, a prophetic cleansing with his wife. Yeah. The prophet came. No, before they left, the prophet came to their house. The prophet said, let's go to your bedroom. There's something that I see in your bedroom that is not right. The The man prayed. In the wardrobe says, open that wardrobe. In the wardrobe, when they opened, a big snake came out of the wardrobe. Big snake. Both of you can see this is a big snake.
Yeah.
You see it, it's here. The man said, fire, fire, fire. That thing burned, it just vanished. He prayed, continued to pray, because this snake was running and hiding behind the wife. And they prayed, and the snake came out of the wife. It came out under the wife's private parts. Then you are the husband, you see your wife, the snake is coming out of your wife. The man says, you see, man, we must pray. Your wife must go and pray and cleanse your wife. And all along, this man is keeping your wife, having sex with your wife there.
Oh.
That is why they are manipulated. They manipulate people. Already, if you can see a snake in your house, because you always know. Every time when I'm in my bedroom, man, I always have these funny vibes. You will always remember, it was a snake in that. It was not there. It's manipulation. They manipulated you. If there's a snake that comes, that is in your bedroom, and in the morning you opened the wardrobe and you took out clothes and there was no snake, where did the snake come from? If there was always a snake, you must see it the day it comes in. That here is a snake.
Yeah.
And then you must call SPCA, they take that snake.
Yeah.
How did the snake come into your house? There's nothing like that. They can know how to masquerade spiritual things so that you can see it live here.
Yeah.
It's here. And then they call fire from heaven, it burns and it vanishes. Your mind is already messed up. You are never going to be intimate with your wife.
Yeah.
Whilst you see your wife, underneath your wife came out frogs and snakes, and you can never be intimate with your wife. You are lying. That's how they destroy marriages. That's how they separate people. There's a group of, I went to Botswana once in a conference in Botswana. We went to do a prophetic conference. Some of the pastors did not want to come to the conference. As you prophets, we are angry at you. And then when we finished the conference, we sat with one of the pastors, and then they gave us a report. No, my people were attending your conference. No, it seems that we are different. And then we asked him why. He says they went to Nigeria. They took their wives, they went to Nigeria. They were looking for power. Okay. They go, when they arrive in this church in Nigeria, they take their passports. They put them in a building. They say, stay here. And then they take their passports. And then they pray. And then they bring the passport. They tell the husbands, you go back to Botswana. You go back. Your wife must stay here. The work is not done. We must pray for her. They fight. Why is my wife staying behind?
Yeah.
Hey, you must stay here. Must stay. Take your passport. Go back. One of the pastors who have stayed in Nigeria for 2 months without coming back. They were so angry. They going there to the church. You find your wife, but the passport is not there. How are you going to go to get out of the country? They kept them there. You see, so all of these things, you go out and seek and look for strange power. Let me tell you, if you don't have a gift, don't look for it.
Yeah.
Don't go and look for things that you were not given. If there is no trace, if you have a gift to see and heal people, that gift, you must test it. You must if you have a gift to heal people, you must stand in front of a sick person and say nothing. If you have a gift of healing, stand next to a sick person and go away. That person will phone you. That person will tell you on phone, when you stood next to me, there's something that I felt. Even though I was not healed, there's something that I felt. Then you have a gift. You don't need to go and look for power and fire and go to water and go to, you don't need that.
Yeah.
Because once you harvest that power, it brings something else with it. It's going to contaminate your gift. It's going to bring the spirit of dead people. They are going to surround you. Everybody has an aura in this world. You go to the mall, even if you go to the shipping. I'm a pastor. Even if I go next to people who are drunk, they look at me funny. They tell you, you are a pastor. From the young age, I was at school and people are looking at me. They say, you are a pastor. They can see the gift. People, they can see in you. That's why even when these agents, these soccer agents, they go to townships and they sit in the stadium and they watch people. They can see that one has got a talent. That one they can see. They see you now. You're gonna play for Pirates in the next 15 years. They see now this one has got a gift.
Just first time.
First time they see you. The way you run, the way you touch the ball, they see this is the gift. They see the other one that is a favorite. They put you. This one you are playing because your peers can see. Okay, the people that are in the same line of things and gifting that you're in, they can see. If you are a Sangoma, Sit next to another Sangoma. That Sangoma will see you.
Yeah.
Yeah. The Sangoma will see you when you have the same thing that I have. If you have something that is contrary to mine, they will not. These things will clash. So people are looking for things that they don't have.
Yeah.
If this thing is not in your family, all these gifts are inherited from family to family.
Okay.
In one family, you can have the gift of prophecy. You find out all the women in this family have the gift either to see, either to dream, either to hear.
Okay.
Yeah, there are people who are just sitting here, they hear. Tomorrow there's going to be 2 accidents. People are going to die. Don't go anywhere. You can hear, but there's no one here. They don't know how they're hearing. And then when they're supposed to go to town, they say, let's sit and have a small meeting. Hey man, we're going to get late. They get late 5 minutes. When they go outside, there's an accident. If they were early, they were going to be in that accident and die, all of them.
Yeah.
There's people who can see. They see an accident happen. They see it live. It's like they're seeing a deja vu. They have a gift to see. You cannot go and cook that gift. If you don't have it, you don't have it.
Yeah.
If you have it, the more you exercise it, the more you practice it, the more you see, the more you understand it, the more it's going to be clearer and clearer. It takes time. Every gift takes time. There's no gift that is going to start today in mushroom, tomorrow you are big. Nothing. There's nonsense. Today, you go to church today. There's a prophet, he prophesies you today. You have a gift to be a pastor. I see there's a lot of people that are following you today. There's a lot of people that are surrounding you. People are going to follow you. You're going to have a lot of people.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a prophecy. It does not mean tomorrow go and start a church. Never.
Oh.
You must go and sit under somebody. You must go under training. You must train. You must pray. You must create. You must build a relationship between you and God alone.
Yeah.
Before you run and lead other people that you don't even know.
Okay, in conclusion, I want you to wrap up for us. What is it to look for when you go to these new churches? Because they are the ones which are all over, in each and every corner of South Africa. What are the dangers to look up for so that you don't become or fall prey of these pastors?
It's simple, man. When you go to church, don't do what they are asking you to do. Don't do it. If a man prophesies you and he says, yes, you confirm, yes. You see, because they always say, Oti papa, Oti papa, yes. When a person is prophesying you, keep quiet, ask the man to prophesy and speak and finish. That's what I do. I went to another church. This man was all over. He was on fire all over. Yes. And then he calls me. And I come, I stand like this and I become quiet.
Yeah.
He was trying. You see, this man is trying.
Okay.
And then he sees me. I'm not even responding. I'm not saying, yes, Papa, oh, you're true. Or I just keep quiet. Okay. Remember, prophecy is information. You must listen to every word accurately and correctly and listen to what this man is saying. And the Bible says, let 2 prophets prophesy and let the other one judge. It means when the person is prophesying, somebody must stand in the spirit and judge. We are not judging the prophet. We are judging what the prophet says God is saying.
Yeah.
So if you say God is saying, somebody who is a senior, who's senior to you in the spirit, must listen to what you are saying. Because if you say God is saying tomorrow is the end of South Africa is going to burn. Tomorrow we want to see South Africa burning. If it's not burning, you are lying. You see, so if you go to church, relax. Don't be emotional.
Yeah.
Don't have drama and start falling and rolling and yes, Papa, go to Papa, you are right. Even if the man is right, don't say anything. You will see because these people, they are prompted by drama. Okay, their gift is prompted by drama. You must, and when you go to church, don't give information. Don't tell people. You go to the door, they ask you, what's your name? Where are you from? Just give as little information as. There's a guy who prophesied another pastor. On Facebook, this guy, he wrote a wrong name and a wrong ID number. So then they call this guy because he's already downloaded that information and he's checked it. And he says, your name is so and so, this is your ID number. The man says, no, you're wrong, it's not my ID number.
No.
He says, no, that's not me. But the man is sure because I see your picture on Facebook. This is your picture. And I says, yeah, right, that is my profile, that's my picture. But the name that I wrote there is not my name.
Yeah.
And the name, you are wrong. You see, so to go to church, Do not go to church because you are desperate.
Yeah.
If you are desperate to be healed, if you are desperate for prophecy, then you fall prey to be used and to be scammed. You are number one prey. Don't be desperate. You are sick, yes, we know. You want to be healed, yes, we know. Don't be desperate. The same power that prophet says he's having is the same power that God is having with you in your own house, in your own room. You can call God in your own room where you are.
Yeah.
Remember, when you were born, there was no prophet that said, God, let these baby people. There was no prophet who prayed. You grew up to be this age. God is still watching you.
Yeah.
So there's no need for you to go and hunt for prophets and people to prophesy over you. For people to, as long as you have appetite to take money and go to church, leave your phone at home, leave your wallet at home, leave your money at home, go to a prophetic meeting. And don't say anything, don't agree to anything. The prophet comes and says, you and your wife, you are fighting, say no.
Yeah.
This is what is happening, say no, I'm fine. You are fine. No, yes, I'm fine. And see what is going to happen.
Thank you, Mr. Muthi. It's been a very fruitful 1 hour, 10 minutes or so, full of knowledge, full of information, wisdom. And I believe that we're still going to take a lot of matters related to the church, the Bible, history, politics, and everything. So people, don't forget to subscribe, leave comments, and we are still looking for equipment. If you think we're heading to the right direction, advise us, sponsor us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.